Right, let me get these alerts off. We are good to go. It is Monday morning. We are it's really officially at the middle of June. But good morning, everyone. This is Carol, so AKA Naughty Bros, live back in Vero Beach with two
Sisters. Hey, good morning. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and it is Monday. Let me see if I can get the date right. June 13th. And we love all of our days. Monday, we know, is not the first start of the week. It technically is the second. And but Monday kind of sets the tone for a lot of people, which is fine. I try to do my setting the tone on Sunday, just kind of helps me to keep on top of everything and keep organized. And here we are. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Out on my walk this morning, the garden is starting to cultivate, so it's amazing. So
That's
nice.
awesome. That is awesome. Nothing like the smell of fresh vegetables in a garden. Something about that, the tomatoes, you just smell all the different flavors.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. And we did have some red lettuce out of it the other day. I don't know if that's the correct term, but it's the purple lettuce and they call it red lettuce.
Right. Well, that's one way to differentiate from that. But, Monday is a good day to kind of like, you're coming out of that weekend. We're entering that phase where kids, a lot of schools are, this is the end of the school year, a lot of graduations going on, proms. So there's all these kind of what I call pre-festivities to the upcoming summer months. And the summer months, I tell everyone, they get shorter and shorter. I think as kids, as you get older, I just noticed a wet spot. I spilled my water. You notice as you get older, especially when you get into those height, like you're super excited, you're more social, and you start to realize, wow, that summer goes by quicker than I anticipate. And the reason being is as you age, just time goes quicker, right? So that you'll notice that even with your work week, like, oh my God, the weekend's over already. I mean, how many of you, I know I've said that, the weekend's over, or what happened to the weekend? It was here and then poof, it's gone. And they're back to that Monday grind. But your Monday grind doesn't have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be, this like, not looking forward to. I always say it's a new chance to kind of double check maybe what you couldn't complete from the week before. And this is the week you're going to get it done. And then you're going to add some things. And guess what? The things that you add, you might not get done either. So you're going to push them over to the following week. This is what happens. So while we talk about Monday Mindset, Triumph Tuesday, Wealth Wellness Wednesday, Trending Thursday, and Fantabulous Friday, these all lead to help us to stay organized all week long and to keep us in that momentum. And you need the momentum to kick off with a good mindset. So you don't want to go into your week like, the weekend's over, blah, 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 blah. And then Friday comes, your TGIF, you can't wait till it's Friday. And then you're kind of in that hamster wheel of your mindset kind of going round and round and round. And you never truly get that meaningful purpose and focus. And that's what I love about Monday is really challenging yourself. What do I want to attract this week? What do I want to accomplish? What are my goals? And how am I going to do it? Sometimes what happens is we wing it, and wing it will only work so long. And it's not to say that, some people are better at it than others. They can get through, the obstacles better. They can, they're more efficient with their time. They're more fly by night and they really find success that way. But that eventually does catch up with you. So that's why we always really have a plan of action to help us. So you don't like Monday, oh my God, I got all this stuff I got to get done. No, again, put it in compartments. So that's why on Monday, you want to really set the tone. And the only way to do that is with good mindset.
Yeah. And you talked about mindset in the way that I forget the terminology you just used, but it made me think of fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
Like,
I hate that term.
I do too. And here's why. Here's why. I think you said wing it. It's coming back to me. I know I got some
Wing it,
going on,
fake it.
but so wing it, like we all wing it with certain things, right? And I was just winging it, doing back leans, and let me tell you, I feel it. But the point being, when you say fake it till you make it, you're already putting a negative connotation, in my opinion, out in the universe that I'm no good and I'm going to fake it till I make it. Now, and maybe I'm almost positive that I've said that term before, and it really did not serve me well until I really started, doing routine type of practices. For instance, I'm trying to institute no computer Sundays, like stay off the computer, because I'm pretty much on the computer 6 days a week. That was tough. And I almost came down here, but I'm like, nope, not going to do it. So just, a little side example there. But, how do you feel? Or I guess the question would be, how would somebody feel when they say fake it till you make it, knowing full well that they have the aptitude, that they have the knowledge, that they have the skills, but you've already kind of put a damper on it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, how does that make a person feel? Obviously, for me, excuse me, it didn't feel too good.
No, and I do believe that because of the way social media and platforms are set up, and you have different entrepreneurs and you have different people guiding you on what's the best to do of this thing, what's the best to do of that thing. And you realize, and they say, well, just go out there and, no, I instead of fake it till you make it or winging it, just be confident. Even confidence in the fact that, you may flub up. You may not project maybe what you want to project. You may, start off with all good intentions and you're derailed some way. But even in that derailment, even in that renegotiation of what is going on, whether it's your health, your wellness, your plan for the week, whatever you're going after, if you're still confident in your belief that you can do it, but you also have the confidence to know, what? There may be times where I'm going to slip, I'm going to flub up, I'm going to make a mistake. That's raw, that's real, that really showcases that you're so postured in what you're doing. That part of, I don't like to use the word failure, but sometimes we fail at things. Sometimes we don't accomplish what we want to accomplish. But in doing that, that's part of the growth. That's part of the juggling. Am I doing it the right way? Maybe my mindset was like all gung-ho, I was going to do it this way. And I realized, whoop, that doesn't work for me. It may work for someone else, but it just doesn't work for me. And I think when you allow yourself to fail and not show that, I'm confident and I know what I want accomplished, but gosh, I chose the wrong door. I checked off the wrong box. It doesn't mean you're not successful. It means, or that you even have the right mindset. And it doesn't mean, it's really showing that you're not faking it, that you're willing to have the stumbles, you're willing to trip and fall to get you where you need to go and whatever you're trying to accomplish. So that's why I don't like the term fake it till you make it. I rather say, just go there with confidence. And if your confidence is struggling, redirect, take it. Maybe, you say, that's a big thing I want to go after. I'm not really sure. So instead of faking it, I'm going to take a few steps back, know this piece to it of whatever it may be. I'm confident that I can accomplish this. And that's the one thing too about goals and goal setting and vision boards. Yeah, you want to put your big things, but you really need to layer them. You get those bigger goals, those bigger accomplishments that you're going after. But then you've got all these small ones. And I always say, always set some goals that you are pretty confident you're going to succeed in them, because that builds your confidence, number one. Number two, it allows you to have those smaller successes that are going to lead you to the bigger ones. So some people, like, they're on step one and they want to just, I'm going to run all the way up to that stair 12 and get to 12, this 12th step. Well, you have like 11 before that. So why not? And it doesn't say don't go after them, put them on your long-term plans. But I think when you set yourself up with good mindset to say, you know what, it's okay if it takes me a little bit longer. It's okay for me to start. You got to start from somewhere. So you might as well start something. It doesn't mean you still want to take yourself out of your comfort zone, of course, always. But make sure that you're also setting yourself up for the smaller successes, because that's going to give you the confidence and booster your beliefs that you can accomplish those things.
Right. And, you know, failure is also the act of knowing, okay, well, I set out to do it this way. It's not working like I thought it would, but that directed you to the right one. And within that path, you learn, like, it opened up so many different things for you that you learned so much from that, that it's maybe bigger or better than you anticipated. So, you know, failure can be the ground force momentum to make that push and pull you forward so that you are able to grow exponentially, that you are able to own it in a way that is yours all alone. And what could be better than that? And when you're in the service, you know, of helping others, that's a beautiful thing.
And I think that's probably the key piece to what's going on, and really a shift in the entrepreneurial space of work, and even, you know, a brick and mortar company. And it's really about adding value. What value are you adding to others that you're going to be of service to them, and show, and within that, show them how great they are or how they're valued. And I think sometimes we're so like focused, you know, on the task at hand to get, you know, the journey jump started, or to take those initial steps to start. We forgot to see the not so perfect blessings that are on the side, the mistakes, the failures, the bumps in the road, because these all add to the enjoyment and enrichment of how someone else can help somebody else, maybe in a similar situation or through their own experience. So I think the idea of perfection, especially in different spaces on social media platforms, is crumbling. People are tired of seeing the filtered person. They want to see the real, the raw, the ugly, the failure, because that's relatable to people. Because there's no one, we always talk about this, we're perfectly imperfect. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of, especially if you're in a business that you are really trying to impact other people. They don't want somebody all put together. Oh, you know, she's always perfectly dressed, you know, her pictures are picture perfect. It was funny being away on this leadership retreat this past weekend in San Diego. We were cracking up because we were allowed to, they had a segment where, you know, we could do professional shots, change your outfit or whatever. And it was funny, you know, you're dealing with, you know, you're in a condensed time frame, you're dealing with a different time zone, you're tired, you're not sleeping well. A lot of times you don't eat well when you're not in your own environment, in your own little cocoon. And so when it came time to, like, we were going to go do our shots, I was like, I feel tired. I'm exhausted. So I'm taking a couple shots. And I said to the gentleman, he says, well, we don't, you know, normally we just download them and send them to you. And then you can touch them up. I'm like, I don't know. Just send them raw and real. Doesn't matter. And then within an instant, you know, your email them, like, oh my God, I look a little bit tired here. So I said, well, I've got to go back up to the room, and who I, you know, was traveling with, let's go back up to the room, get some different outfits, like freshen up. And you really saw, you know, the same look, but just adding a little bit of makeup. And I thought, no, I'm going to keep them both. But, and then he was like, well, you know, I'm sure you got filters. I'm like, yeah, I try not to do filters because I've met some people where when I met them in person, I would have never known that that was the same person that I saw or watched or followed on social media because they were so filtered. And I said, when you filter, you really don't allow that enrichment of your own perfectly imperfect self to come out. And then people look at you and they're like, you don't look the same. You don't need to be filtered. And I think that's where we are heading on different platforms and social media is really people are getting away from that perfect look because it's not real. You know, we don't wake up perfectly done up. I always crack up some of the commercials where they've got somebody like lying in bed and they're all like just perfectly made up. That's not real. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of makeup on your pillowcase.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be real about the real. I've never used filters just for that purpose alone. And, a lot of times when we, for instance, hop on our, excuse me, our podcast, I mean, you should have just seen me a couple minutes ago, excuse me, because I was working out, so my hair was back and, I'm like, and I'm like, well, this is me. I took the other thing out and I, kind of put some, stuff in it real quick just to freshen up. But
Right.
This is me, raw, real, authentic, and genuinely 60.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, like even this morning when I landed, I think it was 5:40 by the time I got the car and drove home another 2 hours. And John goes, what do you do? I said, oh, no, I like to unpack. I'm a little punchy, but I'm going to get all my unpacking done. I needed a hot shower. Got that out of the way, which felt amazing. And, I think too many times we're so concerned. And so literally I'm like, oh, am I going to put, no, my eye makeup on. I said, nope, not doing it. Put a little bit, blush on and some lipstick and I'm good to go. I am good to go. Because I know as soon as this podcast is over, I got a few things to do and then I'm going to go nighty-nights because this naughty bus is a little pooped from between the, obviously the jet lag and then the time change. And we always talk about, when you travel, you're out of your own element, your own surroundings. And then when you're dealing with a time change, for every hour of a time change, it takes your body a complete week to readjust. Readjust with the time, readjust with the way your body functions, your eat and your sleep patterns. So back-to-back San Diego trips, and they were literally back-to-back. I felt it on this trip. And even my roommate, Kristen, shout out to Kristen, she's probably already sleeping. She's like, oh, girl, I'm going to get home and I'm jumping in that bed. I'm like, nah. She says, you really are going to unpack? And I go, yeah, I always do. It's just one of my things that I don't want to deal with it later. And she was having a lot of difficulty with the time change. Like she was up every night at 3 a.m. And I was also kind of on that same pattern. Like all of a sudden 4 a.m. I'm wide awake, which in retrospect is around 6, would be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So your body really takes, so my body had not recovered from the first San Diego trip. And now I plunge into another San Diego trip. And so what do you do with that? When you're taken out of your element, you're taken out of your norm, and then you still have to somewhat function. You just do the best you can. And that's why it's not necessary. Don't live that filter life. If you're tired, say you're tired. You don't want to put makeup, don't put makeup on. I definitely had to wash my hair, so it did feel good to get to that hot shower. Just because when you're on a plane, you just feel, especially when you're on a red eye, you just get off and you're like, oh, just get me in a hot shower. So the whole point with Mindset Monday, and then how do you function? Like, if you're dealing with those kinds of things, be realistic. Today is going to be a tired day. I'm still going to set some goals for myself. I've got them in my planner, and I really made my goal list smaller because I knew I was going to be tired. So don't be too hard on yourself on Monday if you said, oh, I initially put down, I'm going to do A, B, and C every single day. And then you realize, oh, there's just no way I can do that. Scale back. There's nothing wrong about scaling back on anything that you're trying to accomplish, because then you're being realistic. Like, I'm not going to go out for, like you say, if you got, I was talking to a great promoter that I met from Canada, and she showed me her pictures when before she started thriving, and she's a marathon runner now. And I thought, whoa. And so we were, obviously she was feeling jet lag, and we were doing a power walk. One of our trainings was leadership, team building, and everyone was going to do a walk. And I went for a walk with a bunch of other people. I said, well, how was your walk? She said, oh, I didn't do my walk. I said, well, you were talking, oh no, I do not deviate from my routine, because that just would be so hard. I said, even with the time change, I said, well, you go, girl. And I said, I'm just happy that I was out moving, never mind trying to get back to my, what your normal routine is. So I think people have got to be reasonable with themselves, kinder with themselves, realistic with themselves, still set their goals, still do what you got to do for your mindset, but allow yourself that space that you may have to adjust. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, adjustments are fine. Just don't, I would say when you adjust something, don't cancel it out.
Right.
Because sometimes when we cancel things out or adjust it, we're like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm just whatever. And then it builds up. So, be realistic with that. And yeah, so that's it for Mindset Monday.
Yeah, we want you all to just embrace the day, double check what you've got going on, and allow that space that you need to rejuvenate yourself, whether it's through music, through journaling, reading a good book. One of my books came in. I'm going to run and go get it.
Oh, is it
no,
from our Aussie friend?
No, that's back ordered or something. That's coming later.
Oh, wow. Let's see what book she has. I have my set of books over here.
This was a great book, and I can't remember where I saw it. And he was interviewed on, one of the morning shows, and I don't even remember having to see it. So it's Tim Kennedy's Scars and Stripes. And now you're seeing it as backwards, obviously. But it's an unapologetic American story of fighting the Taliban, UFC warrior, and myself. And some of the reviews on the back, most of us have a few great stories to tell about a time that our lives were extraordinary. My friend Tim Kennedy has a book's worth, and even more than that, motivated by his audacity, resolve, and guts. I have no doubt you'll begin living your life a little bit more like Tim after reading this. So I'm really super excited about reading it. And he, I think from what I understand, he started out, 9/11 really impacted him. And I think he was in special forces. And now he was one of Afghanistan, when there was people stuck in Afghanistan, he was one of the private groups that went to go rescue them. But it really talks about, and here's another quick review, a gritty account from a leading voice of our post 9/11 generation. Tim Kennedy's book is an authentic gut punch of a life lived with grit, resiliency, and a never quit attitude. So, I mean, I'm excited to dive in. And that other book, yeah, I think it's not supposed to come until sometime this week. It was a little delayed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got to get that book as well. So thank you for sharing that. I will definitely look into that as well. So on this Mindset Monday, everyone, what are you doing to set yourself up for success? That is the big question. Let us know. Go to our website, leave us a voice message. We would love to hear from you. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. Ooh, bat wings. That was a tough one. I felt it. It's all good though. I guess I need some cheese for my wine. Signing off, and I am with TwoSistas,
and this is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, a little tad jet lag, but I'm going to make it through the day just fine. I'm going to set those goals and just kind of like, go with my mindset and know that today will not be a full punch out day, but that's okay. I'm still going to have some punches, just not my full punch. I may have to try some of those exercises. No, I don't think so. I think I'll wait till tomorrow. Anywho, you have a great Monday mindset, and we will see you tomorrow for Triumph Tuesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.